How long can somebody be on long-term sick before they're dismissed? This is a question I get so often, and people want to know timescales. So long-term sick leave is typically classed as where you're off for 4 weeks or longer. But for those who want to know at what stage a company considers dismissal, I'm very sorry I don't have that answer because they are all different. However, what I will give you are some considerations that employers take into account before considering dismissal. So don't forget to save this if you're an employer or an employee and you want to refer back to this information. So number one is the financial impact of having somebody on long-term sick. There are costs associated with having somebody on long-term sick. Number one, they continue to accrue holiday pay throughout the duration of their long-term sickness. Number two, sick pay, might be company sick pay, might be statutory sick pay, depending on the eligibility. So that's a cost. You might have the cost of hiring or training a replacement, agency staff, the cost of disruption to the business, the admin time spent managing the situation. There are a number of costs. Number two is the likely prospect of you being able to return to work. So depending on what the situation is, what is the likelihood that you will be able to return to work and when? That's something they're going to heavily take into account. They're also going to take into account their own policies and procedures. Larger organisations tend to have stricter policies to ensure consistency. Another one is the formality of the workplace. So in contrast, smaller organisations might not have strict processes. They might be less able to sustain the cost of somebody being off. And the next one is occupational health advice. So in a lot of cases before dismissal, occupational health will be involved or at least offered to be involved. And the last one is reasonableness. Almost everything in employment law comes down to reasonableness. Is the action you've taken or intended to take reasonable? So I hope that was helpful.